Hey guys, welcome to the ReVAMP program. Now, congratulations for signing up for this 12-week online support program. This is ReVAMP number one. Designed for amputees, people with limb difference who are fairly able on their feet. They can use prosthetics and they can walk around. You need to be able to walk unaided. There are going to be some exercises in here that are going to be really challenging our balance, really challenging our ability, and I hope you really enjoy what I've designed for you. Today we're going to go through circuit number one. Now, circuit number one is a full body blast. The only bit of equipment you're going to need is a chair and a little bit of space. I'm going to give you a slow walk and talk through each exercise. We have two parts to this program. Exercise 1 to 4, focus on the full body. Exercise 1 to 3 is specifically focusing on the core. 1 to 3 will be on the floor, so you may need a yoga mat or maybe just a towel folded up just to give you a little bit of protection from a hard floor. So we have beginners group and we also have the advanced group. In this video, I'm going to go through. The difference will be the amount of repetitions and the amount of sets that I have programmed in your program. Okay? I suggest that you print off your program because this will make it much easier to track what week we are on, how many repetitions you did the following week, the previous week, and also what you did the following week as well. As we go through the program, this is a 6-week program, this first bit, you might start adding a little bit of weight, adding a little bit of resistance, and it'd be really nice to kind of track your progress. Progress is the biggest. That's what I encourage you to do, and that's what I encourage you to write on this sheet. Okay, so our first exercise is called a chair squat. So again, I'm just going to walk and talk through it. I'm going to give you a couple of different options. If you've got any problems, or if you've got any questions about this, please do get in touch with myself, Jack Eyers, jackayers.com, or you can speak to Kira at Limbpower. Okay. So like I said, guys, all you're going to need for this is a chair. The first one is a chair squat, simply sitting onto the chair and standing back up. Sitting onto the chair and standing back up. Now, if this is a little bit challenging, you may want to use a pole or a crutch, or a stick, another table leg or another chair, just a little bit of assistance. Trying to keep those shoulders as level as possible, both feet facing forwards, and keeping those knees pulling out, driving out. So you don't want to see your knees coming in as you step up. You certainly don't want to see one side as you're pressing through. You want to stay as balanced and as symmetrical as possible. Now, I'll put that away for the second. A cue that I like to think about my residual is I push onto the toes, and that will help me to lower me down. And then I think about snapping the leg backwards, the knee locked as I stand up. So really drive through that glute, drive through that residual limb, and snap it back. Push the toes, helps you put down and snap it back. You also notice that my arms are here in front of me to keep my core nice and rigid. You don't want your shoulders up around your ears. You want to keep your core really tight. If your hands are here, you might a little bit listened, which is fine first. A couple of times that we try this, but eventually I want you to be as strict as possible. And like I said in the intro, potentially holding a little bit of weight, really slow, nice, strict repetition. Now refer to your program. What you will notice is beginners have 8 to 12 repetitions, and the advanced are 12 to 20 repetitions. Okay. Now this program, exercise 1 to 4, is set as a circuit. So once you've completed the exercise, you then move to the next one, which I'm going to demonstrate now. This is not the workout video. This is an exercise and program overview. The next exercise is a chair squat thrust. As if you're going to do a hand underneath the shoulders, legs out straight. You can jolt those legs in and back up. Now, if you find this maybe a little bit too much of a challenge to start with, go for a mountain climber instead. where we walk the legs in and we walk the legs back out. In and out. So all the way in and back out, that's 1 repetition. Refer back to the program for 8 to 12 repetitions. And for the advanced, for people who have maybe done this before, got a little bit more of a training background behind them, 12 to 20 repetitions. Like I said, there's a circuit. You then go to the next exercise without any rest. Next one is push-ups or chair push-ups. So a push-up onto the floor, legs out straight, lower that body down and back up. Shoe side on. So that looks like nice straight line, lower yourself down and back up. Okay, the slightly easier version is on your knees, down and back up, especially if you haven't quite mastered the control on the prosthetic side just yet. Or a chair push-up, which is slightly easier again. Pressing down and back up. Okay, and then of course you've still got the knee option as well. Okay, so a couple of different options there. You need to choose what you feel is your most comfortable ability level to start with. We have 12 weeks to really come. Week number 1, number 2, you want it to be a little bit challenging. Not so much out of your comfort zone that you either risk injury or you just lose motivation altogether. So be kind to yourself, slowly integrate the challenge of each exercise. Our next exercise, our final exercise. Full burpee, standing up onto the floor, up, and down back up. Number 1, okay? A slightly easier version. I'll show you one more time. Side. On the floor, right down, jump those legs in, and back up. Try not to hit the lamp as you come up. Slightly easier version of that is you can do it standing. You don't have to go onto the floor. You can just do the burpees like this. This will really challenge that core strength, that glute control, balance. If you're not quite comfortable doing that one yet, we can do them seated. Okay, so feet together, floor, up, floor. This is designed to kind of challenge those movements that you've perhaps not done for such a long time or maybe ever, but it's designed to really get that heart rate up, increase in fitness. Okay, so having gone from your chair squats to your squat thrusts to your push-ups into the burpees, that is your circuit. Okay. If you are a beginner, I have suggested that you do between 2 to 3 sets. So once you have done all 4 exercises, you take 60 seconds rest, and then you go back up to the top. Back onto your squat thrust, push-ups, burpees. Take another 60 seconds rest, and then do it one more time. If you are in the advanced, 3 to 4 sets, okay, with a slightly higher repetition as well. Once you have mastered 3 to 4 repetitions, you're then moving on to circuit number 2 of circuit 1, which is focus on the floor, which is focus on our core. So move the chair to one side, and we have 3 exercises. Classic crunch, toe tap. Now, classic crunch, at this point you might need your yoga mat or towel on the floor. Classic crunch, typically hands to your head, to your temple, or across your shoulders. I suggest your knees are bent at this point. You're going to help to keep the lower back off the ground and off the arching, which is going to help to protect it, and you're going to help to engage all the right muscles. Just going to roll the shoulders forwards and back down, keeping it controlled. We're not looking for a full sit-up. This is a crunch. And a little with this one, blow. You'll blow all the air out of your lungs, which will create space, but you also contract the abs further, making you work harder, getting better results. Okay, breathe in as soon as those shoulders touch. Breathe out, touch, breathe out. Okay, if you are a beginner, I have suggested suggested that you go for 10 to 15 repetitions. If you are advanced and you've done this before, 15 to 20 repetitions. Your exercise is toe taps. You can stay in the same position. Again, this is a circuit from number 1 to number 3. Shoulders off the ground, holding that crunch position, and you're going to come around and touch those toes and touch those toes. I've also called this one a floor cleaner in the past because you want to think about cleaning the floor. But if you are wearing a prosthetic legs, you think about trying to touch those toes all the way around. Really fantastic for the obliques and working on that six pack. So if you are a beginner, 10 to 20 repetitions, and if you are a advanced, 20 to 30, which would be 10 to 15. Okay. Now, if you're a beginner, that is your 2 exercises. You can then take 60 seconds rest and repeat that one more time. If you are in the advanced group, challenge, we are now moving on to the plank. We're going for 30 to 45 seconds of a plank. Plank looks like this. Onto your elbows, elbows underneath the shoulders, push up onto those toes, and keep that core engaged. And you're just going to hold this for 30 to 45 seconds. So really important you don't arch. It's really important that your elbows aren't too far underneath you or too far away. You can't really go wrong with it. It's an awful, awful exercise in terms of like the mental challenge of it. You're just holding it for 30 seconds, but it's really, really challenging. If you find that you still haven't got that control of the prosthetic side just yet, and you've got a knee like mine above the knee, then you want to do it off a stool or a set of cushions underneath your residual limb, okay, just to help support. Good stuff, guys. So, like I said, if you are on the advanced side of this, I've suggested 2 to 3 sets, okay, so 2 to 3 times through those 3 exercises. And that is circuit number 1. So, join me for exercise overview of circuit number 2. Hope that was clear. Like I said, any questions, just get in touch, and I'll speak to you all soon, guys.